there's so much noise drowning out the news. Talking heads, broadcast messages, press releases, they're telling you their side, but you just want the facts. And that's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin. Out of 116 million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%. I give you the context. I give you the history. I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000. 970,000. Over 1 million Lagosians. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. And these are your hard facts. Did you miss me? I missed you. It was a difficult week for me last week. I got home Monday night and I became very ill, very, very ill. I had a fever, had flu symptoms. It was terrible, honestly. It was so bad. And I just, spoke with my doctors and they said to me, well, it's probably just stress, conducted tests and said, hey, just rest it out. So I spent my time watching a lot of Big Brother Nigeria. So the first time I ever watched Big Brother Nigeria was, I think, 2017, T-Boss's set. I was a huge T-Boss fan, campaigned for her and everything. So this is the second time I'm watching. I didn't watch Big Brother Africa when it was on TV at the time, and this is the second time I'm following the reality TV show, and I quite enjoy it, to be honest with you. That's why when I hear people talk about these people just want to focus on BB Nigeria, well, you listen to me on Hard Facts, and if the president of Hard Facts is watching Big Brother Nigeria, I mean it tells you that there's nothing wrong with watching it. It's not a statement on a person's character that they enjoy reality TV, because you have people who enjoy what they enjoy. People distressed, problem no dey finish. Nigeria problem go dey with you. While I was on leave, all kinds of things were happening, and I'm like, if you focus on the news, that will add to your stress. So how about you watch something else, And I quite enjoyed it. So I spent a lot of my time watching Big Brother. Spent a lot of my time watching the Olympics. I hated that Beatrice left the house. I hated that. I didn't want her to leave because I really loved her. I thought that she just needed to work on her confidence, So I was sad to see her go. But yes, so while I'm here, my husband is watching. When I come home, he will download the summary for me, what happened with who. So that's what I did while I was recuperating. But I'm glad to be back. I feel much better. Still not 100%, but I feel much better today than I did last week, Tuesday. I couldn't do anything. I had a blasting headache. It was terrible. It was so bad. But here we are. Let's bring you today's show, right? So first hard fact of the day, 1,508 new confirmed COVID cases over the weekend. It's up from 1,494 cases last weekend. So we had 890 of these cases coming from Lagos alone. That tells you that this outbreak is growing, right? So please take your precautions right now. When I got sick, when I had the fever and all of that, I thought that I caught COVID because, like I tell you, even when you're vaccinated, you can still get it. What it just means is that you will not get very sick. You most likely will not end up in a hospital. So even if you've been vaccinated, wear a mask when you go out. Keep your distance from people when you can. Wash and sanitize your hands as frequently as possible. We all have to do our part until we can all get vaccinated. And speaking of vaccines, that's our second hard fact of the day. They've been delayed. I told you how the U.S. government gave Nigeria 4 million doses of the Moderna vaccine. We were supposed to start administering them tomorrow, but now the government says that it's been postponed because of unforeseen circumstances, end quote. Now, I'm hoping to find out what those unforeseen circumstances are. So tune in tomorrow when I talk to hopefully the NCDC, the NPHCDA, and the Lagos State Ministry of Health on the Big Hard Fact. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., that conversation will come your way. And it brings me to our third hard fact of the day. Lagos to Cardinal rail service is restarting. You remember the Railway Corporation suspended it because of COVID? Well, now they feel that it's safe to resume. And I wonder if you agree, especially after hearing those COVID numbers from the weekend. But then again, this is what we've always talked about here on Hard Facts from the start of the pandemic. How do you balance the public health need to shut things down with the economic need to keep things open? It's a crazy mind bending situation. I think I'm going to be asking our public health experts about this railway reopening thing as well. So again, tomorrow 5 p.m., make sure you don't miss it. Our fourth hard fact of the day, voter registration is ongoing and you can register online. Just go to cvr.inecnigeria.org. cvr.inecnigeria.org. CVR is for, that's C for Charlie, V for Victor, R for River. Right? So make sure you do your part so that you can decide who your leaders are, right? You decide as well who your representatives will be. I mean, if you had representatives that listened to you, you wouldn't have a senator who you've elected go to the National Assembly and vote no, basically to the autonomy of INEC.
I vote capital no to any amendment proposed by Senator Afam Batsi on the electronic transmission of voting. Thank you.
That's Senator Adeola representing Lagos West Senatorial District. By the way, INEC says 1 million people registered online in the first week alone. I'm still waiting for their updated data, but 1 million is very impressive. It's a very impressive number. I should know because that's how many of you tune into Hard Facts. And like I always say, 1 million Lagosians cannot be wrong. So thank you once again. And thank you especially to Nigeria Info. I was chosen as radio presenter of the year. Sorry, not of the year, but hopefully of the year. But I was chosen as radio presenter of the month of June 2021, right? So Yemi, congratulations to us here on Hard Facts. It's all the work that we put into the show. Everybody on the team. I'm talking about Ken, who is my chief of staff. I call him my chief of staff. Ken, my chief of staff. Tunde, who makes sure that this is streamed and you can watch it from wherever you are. And everybody really who just contributes to the success of Hard Facts. Chukwudi Ezugu, Agogo Obo, everyone, thank you so much for making this show so good that the management here decided, hey, you need a reward, Sandra. So let's give you some goodies. The goodies were good too. Okay, let's bring you the big weekend. Enough of the preambles, huh? Let's talk about the Chief Judge of Lagos saying that half the homicide cases in Lagos are false charges. Chief Judge of Lagos says that half the homicide cases in Lagos are false charges. Then let's talk about Gbemi Saraki saying that the electronic call-up system at the ports has collapsed. She's the Minister of State for Transport, so she should know. Then we'll talk about Babangida saying that he annulled the June 12 elections to avoid a coup. And then let's talk about the kidnap of the Niger State Information Commissioner. After that, let's talk about the federal government's no work, no pay order for striking resident doctors. It was a really big weekend. So many stories. It was difficult to even say, okay, let's focus on these ones. We'll also talk about some people in the southeast choosing to stay at home in protest. And then we'll talk about the federal government putting more money into the refineries. Like I said, huge weekend. So much going on. On Madam Landlord, let's finish our talk about discrimination. I'll be talking to a lawyer about the rights of landlords and house hunters when it comes to deciding who can rent and who cannot rent. On the big hard fact, let's talk about the road to the next Olympics. Tokyo is over. Tokyo 2020, it's over. Nigeria did not exactly do well. We're going to talk about why we've been struggling in the last few Olympics, what needs to be done to turn the state of sports around in Nigeria. Yemi Olus will be joining me. That's a senior writer for Making of Champions. She'll be joining me on the show today. Making of Champions is an athletic club. They find talented young people and they train them to compete for Nigeria. As usual, we'll bring you all the latest news updates every hour on the hour. But let's get right into the big weekend. I've taken quite a bit of time telling you what I've been up to, right? I'm sure you're just itching to go at these stories that we have for you today.
The big weekend.
Are false homicide charges as common as the chief judge says? Was electronic call-up doomed to failure? And why didn't the stakeholders know? Has Babangida given an acceptable excuse for annulling June 12? Are kidnappers now targeting government officials? And should the federal government invest in the refineries? It was a big weekend. Let's talk about it, Lagos. The Lagos Chief Judge casually dropped a bombshell this weekend. That's Justice Kazeem Alogba. He was speaking at a workshop for coroners, and he said, quote, 50% of the homicide cases in the state are trumped-up charges. Even when these victims are eventually acquitted of the trumped-up charges, no law provides people like them with compensation, end quote. Now, let's be clear. The chief judge is not talking about cases where the police honestly believe that the suspect is the killer and they bring some evidence and maybe the court decides that the evidence is not enough. He used the phrase trumped-up charges. That means bogus charges. That means charges that the police have made up without any real evidence or maybe even falsified evidence. And the chief judge is basically saying that society needs coroners because they are the ones with the expertise to look at a dead body, tell us how that person really died. Remember, we have a case like that right now, Jumoke Ogeleke. She was at the Grand Nation rally at Ojota, but the government announced that she died by stabbing. It was only after the coroner examined her that the police story changed. Coroner now said a small missile killed her, not a knife. Suddenly, police brought out a suspect, accused him of shooting her. We're still watching that case, by the way. But it seems to prove what the Chief Justice is saying. To stop trumped-up charges, we need more autopsies by coroners. But what's preventing autopsies? Professor John Obafunwa, the LASUTH chief pathologist, blames the police. He also spoke at the workshop. And he said, quote, after a crime, there's format for removing bodies at the scene. It is imperative that the crime scene is cordoned off and a coroner is called. But what we have most times is that after a crime, the police remove the bodies from the scene of the crime and bring them to us, which makes our work in identifying the cause of death nearly impossible, end quote. If you watched a detective show, any detective show at all, or any detective movie, then you've seen what Professor Obafunwa is talking about. In fact, let me even take you back to October of last year, immediately after the Lekki tollgate shooting. You remember when Lagos State government employees came to the scene to clean it up? They even tweeted about it. Back then, government officials were still using Twitter officially. So they tweeted pictures of how they were cleaning up the tollgate areas. And a lot of Nigerians were shouting that they're contaminating a crime scene. We talked about it here on Hard Facts. In fact, it was days after that cleanup that the investigators from the NSAS panel showed up at the tollgate. And people were like, you don't late now. They don't clean every. And that's what Professor Bafunwa says that the police often do in homicide cases. The police were at the workshop and they defended themselves. We have CSP Oseni Razak on record blaming lack of equipment and lack of trained personnel. He said, quote, there are 157 police divisions in Lagos State, and the majority of the police officers are general duty staff members. Some well-trained staff members might not even be at the right duty posts and can be transferred out of the state at a moment's notice. This, in no small way, affects the effectiveness of the police. Even materials as small as gloves are not made available for investigating officers, and this in no small way prevents the police from doing their best. End quote. So police are blaming their ogas at the top, it would seem. But what I've seen is that all parties agree that there's a problem. It's just a question of the source. Now, I know what I think. I'm not going to share what I think with you, but I want to know what you think in all of this. You've heard from the Lasuth chief pathologist. You've also heard from the chief judge of Lagos. Right? So half the time, a homicide case is a trumped-up charge. Then you heard chief pathologists say, that the police, police doesn't follow protocol. The police agrees they don't follow protocol, but they're saying this is why we don't follow protocol. Now, my question for you is, does the why matter? Does it matter? The why that they've given, does it matter? 01465-7190 for women. Men call us on 0700-993-993. Women call us on 01465-7190. Men call us on 0700-993-993. Of course, you can share your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. YouTube is Nigeria Info FM. Aha. I'll take your thoughts as they come in. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello. Okay, call us back, please. 99.3, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Hi, Sandra. My name is Martin.
Hi, Martins. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, my own. I think I want to talk about the refinery. Actually,
okay.
I wonder why the government wants to invest so much money in that refinery. It's just as if they're pouring water inside baskets.
Okay.
I don't see the reason why they're doing that.
Okay.
If governments after governments have been budgeting money to build a new refinery, I'm sure by now they would have finished building a new refinery in this country.
Okay.
We have four refineries. And combined 4 refineries, they've not been able to. I'm not sure they are able to refine one barrel of crude oil. So I just feel it's a waste. There's no point. What the government should do is try to build a new refinery, and they should incorporate it in the budget. Every tenure of every government, they should incorporate it and make it a law that when you come, you assign a certain amount of money to continue building a refinery. Until, if they want to take 8 years to build it, or they want to take 2 tenures or 16 years to build it, they will have done it. If Obasanjo just started it, by now we should have a new refinery. So that's what I feel they should do. All those money that they are just investing as a waste. The former Minister for Petroleum came and said, in 6 months, our refinery will be working very well. So now it's this story we are hearing. We've not heard updates about that. I just feel the government shouldn't just waste our money. Instead of that money, you should invest it in paying our doctors who are on strike. They have more problems in the country that they are supposed to resolve. It's not refinery. They should leave that refinery for now. The next government should start thinking of how to build a new refinery and incorporate it into the budget. And they will be assigning money for it every 4 years. By the next 8 years, how many years? How many years is Dangote need to build this refinery that Nigeria cannot build a refinery? Please, the government shouldn't do that, I beg. They shouldn't waste our money.
Okay.
We have more pressing issues.
Okay.
They're investing so much money in a refinery that is not working.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Martins, for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, I don't know what I want to say if it is one of the topics.
Okay.
And the police shooting of that 25-year-old girl.
Okay.
You see, what really happened is that police doesn't tell us the truth about what happened to some certain things like that. Could you imagine that in the first instance they were telling us that it's not shooting, it was not that day, it was something else, that somebody killed the girl and dumped the girl there. Mm-hmm. And then when they confirm now that it's a bullet something, they now brought somebody and claim that the person is one that shot the guy. How did they get the person? In fact, police people have to tell us the truth about things. That's the reason why things are spoiling in Nigeria, because they are not ready to tell us the truth about how things happened. If the government is serious about certain things, you see that these things will not happen like that. Thank you, Sandra. My name is Josiah.
Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Am I on to Sandra Ezekwesili?
Yes, you are. What's your name?
I'm Mercy Ogene, calling from Ikorodu.
Welcome, Mercy again.
Okay. Now, one thing I want to say about this investigation, crime or no crime. At times, I don't know if the policemen are not being taught what to do when they get to a crime scene. Even my kids that are 5, 7, 9 years old, at times some certain things will happen. You will see them, don't go there, let my mommy come first. Because they have watched some movies that they will see what to do and what not to do in a crime scene. How can a policeman see a boy on the road, dip his hand inside his pocket and say, I saw marijuana in his pocket, and you are not putting on gloves? What if that boy rope him by telling them that it's a lie, he's the owner of that marijuana? Let's take this thing for fingerprints, and they've met his hand there. Is he not roping himself? So the whole thing, we don't know our office, we don't know what to do at the particular time. Everybody is just doing what he or she feel like doing. That is just it. That is why you see this one is putting the blame on the police is putting the blame on this one is putting the blame. Everybody just blaming themselves. Okay, now come to refinery. What do we want to do?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you with me? Let them fix the refinery. They will come on Sherry's show. Let us fix our refinery. Come on Sandra's show. We should not fix it. Come on Jesse's show. Let's do this one. I don't even know what we want in this country anymore. Like, seriously, because some are saying they should fix it. Some are saying don't waste the money. Some are saying don't go to some. I don't understand. We don't know what we want again. God will help us.
Thank you, Mama, for calling. All right, it's 27 minutes past 3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is the big weekend. On the big weekend, we bring you the big stories that broke between Thursday and Monday, because we don't treat local stories on Fridays. And sometimes really big things break, and you want to talk about it on Hard Facts on Saturday or on Sunday. So we give you a chance to do that right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. If it's a Monday, if it's 3 o'clock, look out for the biggest stories that broke during the weekend right here on the show. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll move on to our second story, where we'll talk about the e-call-up systems collapsing.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt or an extra hand to change a flat tire or a small loan. At Kuda Microfinance Bank, we believe that your bank should do more than just store your money. We want to do more for you, so when you use your Kuda account to pay bills, buy airtime, and make transfers regularly, we'll offer you an overdraft, which is a low-interest loan that you can take anytime you need it. No long talk, no collateral, no paperwork involved. Just download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store, open a Kuda account, and use it regularly to qualify for Kuda overdraft. Kuda, free banking for you.
Bringing you the latest weekly happenings from pop culture, music, movies, celebrity drop-bys, all wrapped up in great conversation on the Buzz Info. With radio's fabulous Ugochi Adua and Pundit every Fridays from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
It's 29 minutes now, past 3 o'clock. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and Gbemi Saraki, the junior transport minister, says that the e-call-up system has collapsed. It's only been a couple of months since NPA launched the call-up system, and we talked about it here at the time. The idea is trucks are no longer allowed to enter the inner roads around the ports until they get called up by the system. They wait in the parking areas, and when their container is ready, they get a notification on the app. But Saraki said the system is no longer working and congestion is back. She said, quote, the call-up system that was recently put in place has literally collapsed either due to corrupt practices or lack of enforcement by security agents, end quote. Literally collapsed. Now, bear in mind that the government spent tens of millions of naira to set up that electronic call-up system. They kept on saying that it was guaranteed to solve Apapa gridlock once and for all. The NPS said so. The state government said so. NPAO, state government, last mile, they all said so. But a lot of independent analysts were not so sure. Like I said, we talked about it here on Hard Facts. And I kept raising the same concern. Will the enforcement officials do their jobs? Because if a truck enters the area without a call-up, you are going to need an actual person to stop them and to penalize them. You need the port task force to do it. So basically, you need LASMA officers, police officers, and road safety officers to do the right thing, even if the truckers are trying to bribe them. And I asked at that time if we were sure that it would happen. Government said yes. But now Saraki is saying corruption and lack of enforcement have sabotaged the system. But what do you say? Lagos, what do you say? Have you been down to the ports recently? Do you work at the ports? Has the call-up system collapsed? What caused it? Are the security personnel unwilling or unable to do their job to enforce the system? Two questions there. Are they unwilling or are they unable to do it? Women, call me on 01465 7190. 01465 7190. Men, call me on 0700 993 993 993. We've got Facebook where we're streaming live. Share your thoughts there, your comments there. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. And of course, there is WhatsApp 080-959-75805. We're streaming on YouTube as well. And I'll take your comments from YouTube if you leave them there. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Thank you for calling us. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, Madam Sandra.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
I'm Benjamin Amu.
Welcome, Benjamin.
I'm very happy to speak to you. I just want to talk about this Apapa deadlock.
Go ahead.
Why it will not work is that the police, the last man, the soldier, they are collecting money from the truckers. So I don't believe it will work.
Okay.
Because the bribe they will collect will be bigger than the one the port authority will pay them. So I believe that is the reason why it cannot work. Okay. So that's my contribution.
All right. Thank you. So we have somebody there who says they are unwilling to do it. Okay. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, sir? What's your name?
Tamna is my name, Sandra. How are you today?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Yeah. On this Apapa gridlock thing, I work in the system.
Okay.
And see, it's a wider problem.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this. For example, what is the salary of a police sergeant?
Okay.
Just ask what the salary of a police sergeant is.
Okay.
And when you make these rules and make these big laws and speak this big grammar and you say, okay, you're going to send policemen, you're going to send last man to enforce these things. I'm going to tell you, there is no way they can enforce these things. People give them money, and the money is so tempting compared to their salary that they'll probably take it and look the other way. It's a much bigger issue. It's not because the system is not good or the computers collapsed or anything. It is the human beings that are supposed to enforce the system that collapsed. Just as you said, it is a human being that will stand there to hold the trucks that will go into the system, that will go to the inner roads, without being called up. It is somebody that's going to stop them. If that person is not there to stop them and enforce the rules, the computer will not leave the office and go and enforce the rules. So that is where the problem lies. I was talking to a policeman around the port, and he told me his salary, and he said, "Oga, I'm standing here in the sun, and if somebody comes and give me 200,000, I say, take 200,000, allow my truck to pass. I will allow it to pass." That is a policeman. Because at the end of the month, his salary is not even up to 80,000. So we have a wider issue on our hands, not just coming up with policies and laws and then start blaming people who are suffering.
But is it a question of poor salary or poor personal values? Here's what I mean. So that same policeman, say his salary is actually 200k, go. If somebody comes and offers him 500k to allow the truck pass, will he say, well, my salary is 200k, so I will not allow this truck pass, even though they're offering me 500k? Or will he say 500k is greater than 200k?
Yeah. What you're asking is a discussion on its own. We have come to the point where values don't mean anything to us anymore.
Right.
That's where we are right now. If a policeman is sent to the road, he is given a target. If you are sent to the port, you are given a target. You have to meet up.
Right.
It's not just police, last man, everybody now pervades nearly all the law enforcement agencies. Right. If you are sent to places like ports or the roads, there are some places they call lucrative postings. You are given a target. You have to bring a certain amount of money to your immediate superior. That guy will also have a target to give to another person and gets to the top. So it's something that pervades every corner. Look, no laws will work here. It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult, he says. Thank you so much, sir, for calling. I loved that phone call. All right, let's bring you our next story that broke over the weekend as well. Ibrahim Babangida, he says he cancelled June 12th to prevent a coup. Not to worry, you can still talk about the ports and you can talk about the chief judge saying that half of the homicide cases trumped up. Ibrahim Babangida says that, he cancelled June 12th to prevent a coup. Now, the media asks Babangida this question over and over. Whenever he speaks, they're always asking him this question. And the reason the media asks him this question is because a lot of Nigerians feel that he has never given a satisfactory answer. He often says that he did it to save the country or because of a national security issue. And this weekend, he gave a slightly more detailed answer to Arise TV. He said, quote, "If it had materialized, there would have been a coup which could have been violent," end quote. Do you believe him? That's the major question here. Do you believe IBB? And if you do believe him, if you do believe that there would have been a coup if he had let Moshood Abiola be declared the winner, if you believe that, as head of state, General Babangida would have been powerless to stop such a coup. Is that something else you believe? If you believe that, do you believe that as head of state, he would have been powerless to stop such a coup? Remember that Babangida crushed 2 coup attempts while he was in power. The Mama Vatsa coup and the Gideon Oka coup. So if IBB could stop 2 coups, what would have been so special about this 3rd coup, which would have made him unable to handle it? What do you think about that answer from Ibrahim Babangida? Women, call me on 014657190. Yes, you can still talk about the ports when you call me and call up systems and why you think they failed. What do you think about the conversation I had with the caller before this story that I just brought you? And yes, you can also share your thoughts with me about what the chief judge of Lagos said, the chief pathologist at LASUTH said, as well as the police said about why they have a high number of people in detention in prisons on trumped-up charges. 99.3, hello.
Hi, Sandra.
Good to have you on the show. What's your name?
My name is Ngozi.
Ngozi, welcome.
I'm listening to you in traffic, and I'm actually around Apapa.
Okay.
I'm trying to navigate my way out of Apapa, and I listened to the first caller that said it's more around what the system really is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And as I was passing through, I saw these custom men just sitting by the side of the road with their guns. Of course, they're there waiting for the defaulters, right?
Okay.
The people that they are going to hold on to and say, okay, bring the money. Where is that quick money? They've not had any customers since morning.
Okay.
And this is already evening. So they are waiting for the people that will come in this evening and say, okay, please, can I quickly go in? And then that's their salary for the day. At least the money that they will take home and remit and say, this is what they have achieved today. So I totally agree with him.
Okay.
Right? The system doesn't allow for this call-up system to work right now where we are. We need to fix every other thing around it for it to work very well. I work in Apapa. I know the hassle. It's not been like a total breakdown.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We can still see a bit of ease when it comes to
the call-up
and all that.
Okay.
Yes. We can, like we who use the road,
Yeah.
know that is fairer than what it used to be, right?
Okay.
But it's not. We're not expecting it to be resolved totally within this short period of time.
Okay.
So every other thing around the system needs to be fixed for this to work. Okay.
Okay.
IBB
Right.
should not tell us anything that we don't want to hear, please. Not today, please. Yes, we were small when this thing happened, but some of us can still remember. Maybe he's talking to is it millennials, I'll call them now, or what? Maybe it's the ones that he's trying to tell that don't know what happened.
Well, millennials are 40 and under, so those ones quite old.
No,
so Gen Z. Maybe Gen Z.
Gen Z. Maybe Gen Z. Abi. Abi Gen X. Abi which one?
Gen Z. Gen Z.
Gen Z. So he should tell the Gen Zers, not us, please. So he can't come now and change the story and tell us that there was a coup. Hello? Which coup is worse than the one that they tried to do? Were we sleeping? All of us were in this Nigeria now. We saw what happened. We know what happened. So maybe if he wants to change the story now for the younger people who don't have the information,
right,
and who may not have time to go and Google and find out,
right,
just take him on face value.
Right.
But we know what happened, please, you should not come and tell that story to us. It's not going to fly.
Ngozi, thank you very much for calling. Let me go to WhatsApp very quickly. Comrade Momo Nasser Yusuf from Sunshine Estate CDA Dimu says, e-color breakdown. We should all know that the failure of all government agencies has been rooted in the endemic corruption in the system. We all saw the way that woman in NPA was kicked out. Corruption is worse now than ever. Nothing works except it benefits the status quo. Not poor salary. The question is how much is enough? Corruption. Comrade Momo also talks about the refinery, and he says that this is just another channel of waste, which to me is unfortunate. And then for the annulment, Babangida only avoided external coup for an emergence of Abacha to fulfill sharing of tenure. Comrade Nasser, thank you very much for your message. Iron Man says, the Bible says there shall be no peace for the wicked. IBB has begun singing like a bird because he has known no peace since he annulled the June 12, 1993 election. As far as I'm concerned, IBB was a coward if that in fact was his real reason. OBJ handed over to Shagari, who was eventually toppled in a coup by Major General Buhari in 1983. IBB should have handed over to MKO Abiola and retired honorably in order to enjoy the international respect and privileges that OBJ enjoys today. All right, Iron Man. A beautiful afternoon to you, Sandra. The response that was credited to Babangida shows clearly that not until the megalomaniac syndrome is jettisoned off our leaders, we cannot make any headway in this country. That's a message from Olarewaju Oluwaseun, who's right here in Lagos. I don't believe IBB, Dahiru says. He did everything for his personal gain. Now I know why he's being called a footballer, a Maradona. Dahiru. Tahiru, thanks for your message. All right, let me look at other ones. OC from Canada says, it's quite surprising that in a world where crude oil is fast losing its value, due to carbon emission problems, global warming, etc., the recent events in the world, wildfires, severe floods, a country like Nigeria is still thinking of a refinery. Now, wow, beyond all these activities, save our planet first. Now, who get house? They think of how to share room for children. All right. Babangida's submission is misleading. 1963 Constitution is the only people's constitution up to date. Military is supposed to be a corrective government for 1 or 2 years where they assemble the people to amend their constitution, as was in the 1963 case. It's not for the military to remove the people's constitution, impose military's constitution on Nigerians. More so, it is inflicting severe suffering on the people. No good result. David from Ibeshe says. All right, David. Mickey says they already have a list of successors to take the post. I think IBB said that because the North was unanimous in not giving MKO the post. No, actually, MKO was very popular in the North. You know, he was popular in the North. On Facebook, Okemute Ovorie says, I watched the interview on Arise TV. What IBB said, he only gave us a little insight to the type of people in power. It would have been possible to overthrow MKO. The powers that be would not have allowed Abiola to rule peacefully. Steve O'Ferris says, it would be a serious malaria dream to believe that the so-called call-up system at the ports will work. It started and ended with front and backwards kickback collections. Hypocrites who benefit from the system will defend every policy, even when they know the limitations. All right, Steve O'Ferry, thank you for your message. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
This is Abe Oyelowo on the line.
Welcome, Abe.
Yes, this is my first time actually for calling on your own program.
Okay.
Every other program.
Okay, welcome.
I'm one of your members now. Okay?
Welcome.
Yeah, it's okay. You see, on the issue of ports, I'm a transporter.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a transporter for a good 13, 14 years.
Okay.
So it is something that I will just bring it to you. Are you getting my point now?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You see, Shippers Council, MPA, whatever they may be, at least they are in charge. They are aware of all this corruption going on.
Okay.
I must tell you to be frank. Go and do your findings.
Okay.
They are aware of everything going on, all the extortion going on. Because I know how much it takes before you can move your truck, before you can load from the port. After you are loading, before you can drop your empty, it's headache. Are you getting my point now?
Right.
They were aware because for you to drop empty alone, it might take you more than a week or going to a month on the road.
Okay.
So this police, this uniform set of people, they mount on each of these points, of which they extort money from the people. They extort money from these trucks every day. They know how much they collect cash every day. They didn't even they cannot even allow you to even do any transfer. They collect the money cash. Then they use all these touts to go and collect this money from whoever trucks are coming, whatever. Or you want to have access to go and then drop your empty or to load whatever way it is to do any transaction from there. You see, it is something that is beyond what we are even talking about. They know about it. So for them to get it right, I don't think that may be possible.
Okay.
Until we can do away with the corruption. I must tell you the fact, but it is something that it takes. If I begin to tell you or give you the analysis of it, it will take the whole day.
My guy, thank you for calling me. Let me take you to Niger State, Lagos, where the information minister has been kidnapped. His name is Mohammed Idris. Gunmen came to his house last night, riding on motorbikes. They took him right from his home. The state government says the kidnappers have still not contacted anyone or made any demands. So as you can see, the kidnapping menace is getting worse and worse. In fact, 2 days ago, the Wall Street Journal published a story titled "How Kidnapping Became Big Business in Nigeria." How kidnapping became big business in Nigeria. Big business. SBM Intelligence has counted 2,371 people reportedly kidnapped between January and June of this year. That's about 100 people per week. Now it's touching government officials. It's touching political leaders more and more. This weekend, in that same Niger state, gunmen also kidnapped an APC zonal chairman. Last week in Zamfara, they kidnapped the father of the speaker, Nasser Magaya. They kidnapped his father, stepmother, and 3 other relatives. And these are just the ones from the past week. That's the situation, Lagos. Do you think that this is a sign that the kidnappers are targeting government officials more and more? Or do you think it's simply a situation where kidnapping is getting so widespread that it's touching everybody? Ole ni everybody. I don't know what that means, though. I hope I've not insulted anybody. Have I insulted people? Did I insult anyone? No. Okay, my Yoruba interns are like, no, you didn't insult people. But Lagos, talk to me. 0700-993-993-993. 01465-7190. Hello. Hello.
President Sandra, is this you're going to call him back?
Thank you for calling back.
Okay. Now I want to talk about this Apapa
situation.
Situation on ground. A caller was saying last man, policeman, and every other law enforcement agency, they are collecting money.
Right.
They are collecting bribes because their salary is not enough.
Right.
If their salary is not enough, they should quit the job. They should quit the job because these people, we put them there so that things should be easy for us, not to be difficult for us. We employ them so that things should be right, not them creating chaos in that same place you want them to make things right. If their pay is not enough, they should quit the job and look for something else to do. We shouldn't be giving them excuse every day. That's because their salary is not enough. If you pay them 2 billion naira today, and Sandra, I'm telling you the facts, they will still collect that bribe. They will still collect it, no matter what you do. So let's make things right in this country and stop giving silly excuses for these people. Let's make things right. We can do it if we want to. We don't want to do it.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Miss Yogane. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, President Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
I'm Kim from Surulere.
Welcome, Kim.
Yeah. See, about these security personnel that are at Papa Wharf Road, I think there are this group of people, escorts, that used to monitor policemen on the road.
Okay.
I have known about it for a very long time. But I don't know if they are still working. Because this thing is really, really getting out of hand. These escorts are the men that every policeman on the checkpoint, they search them to know if they have been collecting bribes.
Okay.
Yes, go and ask of it.
Okay.
So if these people can come back, believe me that this thing will drop to like 20%. It will really drop. It's really very bad for us to be experiencing this kind of thing. If you don't experience it while going to work, you have one problem or the other with the police. Even if you are not maybe in the position to experience police people, you must still see them. It's not fair. All right, someone that is going to work will still have to be in that mess because they are trying to collect money from the truck in front. Please, we should really, really do something about it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. My regards to your baby. We've got a 69-year-old from Ojo asking how he can register to take the COVID vaccine. Well, you don't even... You can go to the website, but you can also just walk into your primary health care center. So the right thing is to go to the website and pre-register and get an appointment time. But in my experience, I did that, and I got to the primary health center, and they still registered me afresh. right? So if you have ID card, go to the primary health center with your ID card, and they'll register you and give you the vaccine. But I don't think the vaccines are being given right now. You know what I'm saying? And then they were supposed to start again tomorrow, but it's been postponed due to unforeseen circumstances. So tomorrow when I talk to the NCDC, the NPHCDA, as well as the Lagos State Ministry of Health tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Make sure you're here for that conversation. Perhaps they'll tell us what those unforeseen circumstances are. We've got more people who are sending us messages on WhatsApp, but we'll take a look at them perhaps after the break. I don't know if I can quickly take this one from Babatunde Fasanyo, who says, I voted in that 1993 election. I followed every news, and in the year 2021, IBB is trying to change the story. I have a poster for IBB. Why leave Abacha while already stepping down after he retired other generals? All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back, Lagos.
The most common drug that damages the liver is paracetamol, what we call acetaminophen.
Are you interested in health? Then join Dr. Fred on the Health and Safety Cafe every Friday, 2:30 p.m. It's time to talk about health on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's big, it's better, it's back. She Can Do More 3.0 is here. Date, Friday, August 13, 2021. Venue, Musan Center, Unicon, Lagos. Time, 9 a.m. Be motivated by fellow women who believed they could do more and who today are breaking barriers in their different fields. You want to know what is going down at She Can Do More 3.0? Don't wait to be told. Speaking, Cecilia Dada, Honorable Commissioner of Women Affairs, Lagos. Elaho Iboni, MD Shell, Nigeria Exploration and Production. Abimbola Agbejile, Wema Bank. The Catalyst, Lanre Olushola, Kelechi Amadiobi, Folake Shueton, CEO, Ikeja Electric. Dr. Maimuna Kadiri, MD Pinnacle Medical Center. Ezine Ezani, Founder, She Can Nigeria and COO MBR Signature. Be there. Admission is free. Registration is required. Visit www.shecannigeria.org. Powered by Shell Nigerian Exploration and Production Limited and many more.
Everybody is talking about Nigeria's power problem.
NEPA never give us lights for 3 days now.
When will this transformer be returned?
What we go do?
It's a value chain where the distribution uptake is not matching up with the available power.
But on 99.3 Nigeria Info, in partnership with Energy Investment Company, All On, we discuss the solutions and alternatives to your power challenges.
I wonder why people these days limit themselves when there is a wide range of alternatives to choose from.
Solar and battery can do exactly the same thing your generator does at a much lower cost.
So, every Monday from 11:30 a.m., join Collins Teke, Wibaboa, and the All On team on Power Solutions as we highlight our collective energy problems, but more importantly, proper solutions to these issues. Power Solutions, every Monday from 11:30 a.m. to 12 noon, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
The federal government will spend $5.74 billion to rehabilitate the 4 government refineries and to buy shares in the Dangote refinery. That's almost 2.5 trillion naira. Now, here's a little hard fact for some context. Between 2015 and 2020, the government spent 1.47 trillion in total on rehabilitating the 4 refineries. That's Warri, Kaduna, and the 2 in Port Harcourt. 1.47 trillion in 5 years. And in those 5 years, lots of Nigerians were complaining that this was too much money for zero returns. But now the government wants to spend almost 2.5 trillion in 1 year on these refineries and to buy shares in the Dangote project. Speaking of which, do you think it's a good idea for the government to buy into Dangote's refinery? I mean, you have those who support it because they feel that if government has a stake, they can make sure Dangote supplies petrol to Nigerians. Then you have others who say it makes no sense for government to invest in a refinery that hasn't even been completed, especially since there are concerns about the project. Some are even accusing the government of bailing out the project. But what do you say? Are the 4 government refineries worth investing in? What about the Dangote refinery? Women call me on 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993. Yes, you can still share thoughts with us via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Oh, look at that. We're out of time, so I can't even take thoughts. But good thing that a lot of you called in and talked about the refineries. Abby? Okay. Now let's go to Facebook where we have some comments. I'll just wrap up the hour with comments from social media. John Oshie says IBB should stop telling Nigerians lies for the sake of posterity. His annulment of June 12th was never in connection with any purported coup plot. Let him tell Nigerians and the whole world about Samuel Doe's dollar and Abiola's link with the money, which was why he deliberately and authoritatively annulled election. All right. We've got Andy Richard who says Nigeria as a country has gone gaga. Now set for the morgue and otherwise known as... Okay, all right. I'm not going to read the rest of that. But thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. That's my cue to bring you the business news. But stay here because we are going to conclude our conversation about discrimination in the real estate industry. You know, you have landlords who don't want to rent or landladies who don't want to rent to certain people in certain subcategories, right? So they don't want to rent to single women, or they don't want to rent to Igbo people, or they want to rent to Yoruba people, or the list goes on and on. They want to rent to you if you have a business. You know, they only want to rent to people who are in the corporate sector earning corporate money. What's all that about?
Africa's #1 station for talk.
Law-abiding citizens would like to go about their lives without the fear of attack or people dispossessing them of their possessions.
Practice makes perfect. You cannot be rusty and then go for a man.
For the biggest personalities.
Dr. Ibirunke Thomas joins us via Skype.
He's been selected for Forbes 30 under 30. His name is Inyolua Aboye.
For the strongest opinions.
All Afro has been saying is, implement the agreements are agreed.
For the best sporting comments.
England need a miracle now, else they'll be knocked out of the Champions League. They will be knocked out. That will not be a funny.
Your #1 station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.